Facebook is pushing back on a report that suggests company executive Campbell Brown said Mark Zuckerberg, quote, doesn't care about news publishers. According to a report by The Australian, the incident happened in a closed, off-the-record meeting. The report also claims Brown told participants that without the help of Facebook, news sites would be in a hospice. In a statement given to CBS News by a Facebook spokesperson, Brown says, quote, these quotes are simply not accurate and do not reflect the discussion we had in the meeting. Joining me now via Skype from San Francisco is Nick Thompson. He is the editor-in-chief of Wired. Welcome, Nick. Thanks for being with us. So how much influence does Facebook actually have over news organizations? Is it really as significant as we think?
Facebook has a significant influence over news organizations. What's interesting is that it has dropped dramatically. In about January, a little before all the troubles hit Facebook, they made some algorithm changes that disadvantaged news in the algorithm, so that in newsfeed you would see more pictures of your friends and fewer stories from the press. They did this for lots of reasons, one of which is that they feel like Facebook is for sharing stuff with your friends and family, and also because news is a big headache, right? It kind of screwed up an election in the United States. So they deprioritized news, and since then, the amount of traffic that publishers have been getting from Facebook has dramatically dropped. And so one of the interesting consequences of the last 6 months is Facebook has far less influence than it used to.
But is that helping publishers or is it hurting them?
Well, every reader that Facebook drives to publishers is helpful. So
right.
The publishers have been mad at Facebook, and it's a really complicated dynamic. The publishing industry has been mad at Facebook because Facebook has taken all of the advertising, right? All digital advertising, not all, but a huge percentage of it has moved to Facebook. And it's not on publisher websites. And that has made publishers really unhappy. For a long time, publishers also weren't able to sell subscriptions on Facebook. So there was this frustration that Facebook was taking away their business. But at the same time, back then, Facebook was driving tons of readers to the publishers' sites. Now Facebook's not doing that, so the publishers are kind of mad at Facebook in 6 different ways. And Campbell Brown's job, she's the executive who allegedly said those things, is to go and to talk to publishers to try to help figure out how Facebook can work with them better. So she is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Indeed. And Campbell Brown released a statement to CBS News denying the report. Facebook has had a pretty tough year, though, financially and legally. If this report is true, at what point will shareholders perhaps demand changes be made at the top of the company?
Well, I don't think that this report will have a huge effect on shareholders. This report will have a huge effect on the way the news industry thinks about Facebook and the way the news industry covers Facebook, and could create headaches. But news is a pretty small percentage of Facebook's business. And what those statements are alleging Campbell Brown said is Zuckerberg doesn't really care about news. He cares about all the other stuff. And I don't think investors will mind. This is much more of a public relations crisis than a financial crisis.
Do you think that's true? I mean, watching all of the moves that Mark Zuckerberg has made, do you think it's true that he doesn't care about news?
No, I don't actually. And I don't know. At some point, someone will get the transcript or the recording of this meeting in Australia and will know exactly what was said. I think Zuckerberg does care about the news industry. I also think that he thinks that Facebook maybe put too much into the news industry. And I also think he's well aware that all of the problems that Facebook has had, or many of the problems they've had in the last 2 years, whether it's the Russian influence operations, or whether it's fake news, or whether it's all kinds of other fights, have stemmed from the existence of news in newsfeed. So I can see why he might be wanting to back off, and why Campbell is describing tension there.
It's true. All these problems didn't come from people sharing too many pictures of their, toddlers. So, right. Nick, do you think that there will be any fallout for Campbell Brown from this report?
It's possible. It depends. Facebook knows what was said in that meeting, right? Facebook has a recording. Facebook has a transcript. If she said what she's alleged to have said, I think that there will be a stern conversation with her saying, don't talk so bluntly. If it's false, then no. It's also interesting, The Australian, the paper that reported this, is owned by Rupert Murdoch, who has been at war with Facebook. And executives at Facebook do not trust the Murdoch press empire. And so I can imagine that when this report first came out, Facebook was saying, well, wait a second, is this just Murdoch hammering us? Now, the report did say it was sourced to 5 different people, so there is some more support there. But Facebook should, if indeed the report is untrue, Facebook should release the transcript.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. There's certainly a lot more that needs to be teased out of this story. I believe we will be talking to you about it again soon.
And I'm going to try to figure it out myself. So maybe next time we talk, I'll tell you exactly what's in the tape. That's my goal.
Sounds great. Nick Thompson, thank you.